Respect is a battlefield. Every word you speak is a soldier sent into combat. Each misstep, each careless phrase exposes your flank and surrenders advantage. Silence is not absence, it is armor, a fortified position that forces others to move, first to reveal their intentions while you maintain command. Observe quietly, and you begin to read the currents of influence like a general surveying the battlefield. Those who rush to speak often mask insecurity. Those who wait, patient and silent, become the unseen threat that shapes outcomes before action is required. In many cases, individuals will underestimate your authority when you withhold words, assuming passivity where there is calculation. Your restraint is the edge of a blade, sharp enough to cut through distraction and indecision without ever striking audibly. Words often betray more than they communicate. A careless statement invites challenges, undermines credibility, and gives adversaries insight into your strategy. Silence, on the other hand, compresses power into the unseen. It is the predator crouched in shadows, waiting for the right moment to act. In a meeting, for example, if a colleague challenges your plan aggressively, your response should be measured observation rather than immediate verbal rebuttal. By maintaining composure and allowing their words to echo back on them, you expose gaps in reasoning, highlight contradictions, and gain the moral high ground without lifting your voice. The calm presence communicates control more persuasively than any argument could. Weak: I disagree, but okay. Strong: I observe and note. Weak: let's discuss this. Strong: I will respond when necessary. Your silence functions as invisible armor, a shield that forces others to reveal themselves. People often overcompensate around those who speak less, filling the quiet with impulsive admissions, emotional reactions, or self-exposure. Watch the gestures, the pauses, the changes in tone. These are your intelligence reports. Like a chess master, anticipate moves before they occur. Your power lies in the ability to act decisively while remaining undetected until your influence must be asserted. Do not rush to fill gaps in conversation. Let others' words map their intentions and vulnerabilities. This is not passive behavior. It is active control, a deliberate cultivation of presence that commands attention without a single syllable. Careful silence establishes respect because it communicates confidence, self-control, and mastery. Those around you sense that your mind is disciplined, your will independent, and your reactions deliberate. You do not need to shout to assert authority. Your steadiness and observation convey a throne upon which no one may trespass. In daily interactions, enforce this by setting boundaries without explaining them excessively. If someone questions your decision, maintain eye contact, acknowledge their perspective with a nod, and move forward according to your plan. The cost of unnecessary explanation is always diminished respect. Each interaction is a test. Respond with deliberate silence, observe, and act only when the timing strengthens your position. Every day, rehearse the power of quiet command. Begin with intention in simple routines. Listen more than you speak. Measure the impact of every word, and embrace the strategic pause as a ritual of authority. Recognize that the battlefield of respect is continuous. Influence is earned incrementally, silently, and consistently. Avoid letting impatience or fear of judgment push you into premature speech. The world will reveal its strategies to the silent observer, and your control will be felt long before it is acknowledged. Adopt the mindset that presence outweighs expression. Let restraint be your mark of mastery. Your mantra is clear, concise, and unassailable. I endure, I command, I am untouchable. Your mind is a throne, and every thought is a soldier that either strengthens or undermines your reign. To command respect externally, you must first rule internally. Unchecked impulses, fleeting emotions, and scattered attention are invisible invaders that erode authority before it ever reaches the public arena. Picture your consciousness as a fortress atop a cliff, walls towering, gates guarded, each thought patrolled by vigilance. Internal sovereignty is not passive, it is active vigilance, a relentless commitment to monitoring, evaluating, and directing every impulse towards strategic ends. Like a general surveying troops, you must recognize which mental patterns advance your position and which create vulnerabilities. Uncontrolled fear, anger, or impatience allows rivals and circumstance to dictate your behavior, leaving you reactive rather than commanding. Strength begins by observing yourself without judgment, cataloging impulses as threats or allies, and assigning them a place in the hierarchy of decision-making. Your internal watchtower is a constant vantage point. When a colleague attempts to provoke or challenge your judgment, do not respond immediately. Assess the situation as you would a battlefield. Note their posture, tone, and timing. By maintaining composure and withholding immediate reaction, you convert their aggression into intelligence. The seemingly passive act of listening becomes a calculated move, revealing weaknesses while preserving your authority. Cognitive armory is essential here. Patience, clarity, and foresight are your weapons. Each hesitation is not indecision, but a tactical pause, a chance to calculate consequences and determine the optimal response. Equip yourself with frameworks for evaluating risks and rewards, and rehearse scenarios mentally so that when the moment demands action, it is decisive, precise, and unshakable. Strategic awareness completes this internal triad. Recognize the patterns in your thinking and behavior, identify recurring triggers, and understand your emotional strengths and limitations. The throne within must remain impregnable, even under pressure or attack. In a boardroom or social exchange, your calm presence signals mastery. When others escalate tension, your steadiness asserts authority without uttering a word. Weak, I think you're wrong. Strong, I note your position and proceed with clarity. Weak, maybe we should wait. Strong, we act with purpose and timing. Through this disciplined observation, you convert potential vulnerabilities into strategic insights, reinforcing your mental sovereignty. Like a predator tracking prey, your mind discerns patterns, anticipates moves, and positions itself advantageously. Every observation strengthens your internal command and prepares you for external influence. Internal mastery demands continuous maintenance. Begin each day by surveying your mental landscape, noting potential distractions, and prioritizing thoughts that advance your objectives. Reject mental clutter. Do not allow reactive impulses to gain a foothold. Construct habits that reinforce discipline. Meditation, journaling, deliberate reflection, and strategic planning all serve as ramparts around the throne. When faced with disagreement, respond with measured silence, allowing others to reveal their assumptions and reasoning flaws. This approach transforms confrontation into intelligence gathering, enhancing both presence and influence. Remember, authority originates internally before it can manifest externally. Respect is a reflection of your inner order. Command your mind as you would command an army, and every action thereafter will resonate with the inevitability of mastery. Adopt this mantra and repeat it as a mental standard. I rule within, all else follows. Every morning is a battlefield, and the earliest moments determine whether you command the day or react to it. Your first actions set the tone for perception, influence, and authority. Approach each sunrise as a general surveys the terrain before battle, deliberate, focused, and calculating. The rituals of command begin before the world stirs, rising with intention, moving through each task with precision, and affirming discipline before distractions arrive. Small victories over yourself in these early hours, choosing structure over lethargy, clarity over confusion, and action over hesitation, compound outward, signaling competence and control. Internal discipline manifests externally. Those around, you sense the confidence that arises from a mind unshaken by idle impulses. Morning is not merely a time of day. It is an opportunity to assert dominance over circumstance, establishing authority that others will unconsciously respect. First strike advantage defines the tempo of your influence. By initiating your day with clarity, you anticipate the movements of colleagues, friends, and competitors before they attempt to dictate the flow. Like a chess master placing the opening pieces with precision, your early choices allow you to control the board of perception, anticipate potential challenges, and prepare responses mentally. Hesitation in the opening phase of the day invites reactive stress and erodes command. Each deliberate action becomes a declaration of intent, each calculated movement a message to observers that you occupy your throne with foresight and unwavering control. Weak. I will try to manage my tasks today. Strong. I direct my attention and resources toward precise outcomes. The difference is felt before it is even spoken. It is the quiet, unmistakable assertion of presence. Silent strategy amplifies your influence through observation. Begin your day in measured quiet, absorbing the environment and detecting patterns in others' behavior. By listening first and acting second, you transform observation into leverage. Notice early tensions, opportunities, and alliances, and allow these insights to guide later actions. In a team meeting, for example, let colleagues present ideas fully before you respond. The brief silence allows missteps to surface, weaknesses to be revealed, and the dynamics of power to clarify naturally. Your calm attention is itself a weapon, signaling authority while gathering intelligence without confrontation. Morning rituals, journaling, meditation, deliberate planning enhance this strategy, creating a psychological edge that carries throughout the day. Discipline in these hours is not visible to all, yet it dictates outcomes more decisively than any overt display of force. The battlefield of perception is won silently, with patience, observation, and precise timing. Seize this advantage daily, commanding your internal and external landscape alike. Adopt this mantra as your guiding principle. I rise first, the day bends. Silence is the most powerful weapon you carry, more precise than any sword or sharper than any blade of rhetoric. In stillness, authority manifests without effort, commanding attention from all who enter your presence. The unspoken command asserts itself before a word is uttered. It sets expectation, creating an invisible perimeter that others instinctively respect. By speaking less, you become a threshold figure. People wait for your signal, gauge your reactions, and adjust their behavior accordingly. Every pause is intentional. Each measured absence of sound signals confidence, control, and dominance. Do not rush to fill spaces with words. Let the silence carry weight and form the framework of your influence. The echo of presence amplifies your control through observation. Stand quietly, absorb every nuance, and allow others to reveal intentions through their actions and speech. Like a predator watching prey, your stillness turns the environment into intelligence, granting you foresight. People often underestimate the power of a quiet observer, mistakenly assuming passivity. In reality, their unconscious disclosures become your advantage. In a professional setting, for instance, a colleague may push an opinion too forcefully while you remain composed. The imbalance exposes overconfidence or hidden uncertainty, allowing you to navigate discussions strategically. Cultivate patience and watch as subtle dynamics unfold. Your silence becomes a lens through which the world can be understood and influenced without confrontation. Psychological advantage is gained as others instinctively attempt to fill the void you maintain. Human nature drives people to respond to absence, and in doing so, they often betray information, reveal motives, or confirm intentions. Leverage this reflex by maintaining calm stillness while observing their reactions. Weak. I won't interrupt. Strong. I let silence elicit. Truth. Your restraint becomes a tool for clarity, cutting through superficial noise and forcing authentic signals to surface. By weaponizing stillness, you control the rhythm of interaction, allowing your authority to emerge organically rather than through coercion. Make your silence deliberate, your observation active, and your presence felt without utterance. Conclude each engagement with this guiding mantra. In silence I command. Respect is never given freely. It is earned through decisive action, clear boundaries, and relentless focus. Begin by pruning your mind as a general clears the battlefield, removing thoughts that sow doubt or indecision. Indecision invites contempt. Hesitation signals vulnerability. Each morning, examine mental patterns and eliminate self-criticism, worry or distractions that dilute authority. Replace them with clarity of purpose and unwavering intent. Command your inner realm as a sovereign commands territory, decisively without apology. Mental pruning is not passive, It is an active, deliberate act of self-discipline that sharpens perception and strengthens resolve. Treat each thought as a soldier. Only those aligned with your mission remain. Extend this ruthlessness outward by evaluating your social circle. Distance yourself from those who drain influence or disrespect boundaries. Relationships are resources. Those who weaken your position compromise your throne. In practice, this may mean disengaging from colleagues who gossip or friends who demand attention without giving value. Maintain dignity while doing so. Do not burn bridges unnecessarily, but enforce limits firmly. Weak. I don't want to spend time with them. Strong. I prioritize relationships that fortify my influence. Your social call is strategic, not vindictive. Every interaction should reinforce strength, not scatter it. Adopt the predator's focus to target only what strengthens your position. Like a hunter stalking prey, eliminate clutter, unnecessary commitments and distractions that siphon energy from strategic objectives. Concentrate on high-value actions and relationships that compound respect and influence. Observe the environment. Notice where energy is wasted and remove it without hesitation. A micro example: a team member challenges your plan publicly. Instead of reacting emotionally, acknowledge the point calmly. Maintain your stance and redirect focus to critical objectives. This measured approach signals authority without aggression. Prioritize ruthlessly, act decisively, and let results speak for your dominance. Conclude every cycle of elimination with this mantra: I cut weakness, I command strength. Appear unwavering. Authority is often perception. Mastery lies in the art of concealment. Like a king surveying his court, maintain an exterior of calm while orchestrating every move beneath the surface. Your face must betray nothing. Micro-expressions reveal doubt, frustration, or indecision. Train muscles to hold composure under scrutiny. Observe yourself in reflection, in meetings, in moments of stress, and notice every twitch, every tension. Correct them relentlessly. Controlled expression is the foundation of perceived power. It signals discipline and signals to observers that you are unshakable. Even when the tides of uncertainty swirl internally, your calm becomes a weapon. Silence and steadiness command attention. When others act impulsively, your measured demeanor is the battlefield advantage. Extend this mastery into perceived omnipotence. Decision-making is a display. Act decisively even when knowledge is incomplete. Hesitation invites challenge, undermining authority. A general does not reveal uncertainty. He positions troops, calculates risk, and advances with clarity. Similarly, frame choices as final. Micro-adjustments in tone, posture, and phrasing convey certainty. Weak. I'm not sure about this approach. Strong. This approach will achieve the objective. Your presence must radiate competence, and by projecting decisiveness, others follow instinctively. They assume mastery where you remain measured, turning perception into a shield. Strategic silence completes the mask. Let gestures, timing, and subtle cues communicate dominance. A nod, a pause, or a deliberate delay signals control more effectively than words. Actions anchor respect and leave no room for misinterpretation. During disagreements, acknowledge points calmly without over-explaining. A colleague challenges a plan publicly, respond with a measured nod, reaffirm objectives with composed language, and redirect focus to results. Your silence conveys confidence and compels attention, demonstrating that authority requires no justification. Every movement, every restraint reinforces the throne you occupy. Maintain control internally and externally, and repeat your closing mantra: I am calm, I am decisive, I am untouchable. Control over self is the first conquest. Like a seasoned assassin moving in silence, mastery over pride and impulse dictates every outcome. Ego is the enemy you must neutralize. It blinds. Judgment clouds perception and exposes vulnerability. Pride compels leaders to react impulsively, revealing weakness to those who watch closely. Humility is not submission, it is armor. It allows observation, reflection, and precise action. Observe your thoughts, your reactions, and notice the instinct. To defend, to boast, to react. Cut these impulses before they manifest. Let silence be the sheath for your power. Emotional detachment is your weapon. Reacting to provocation is a battlefield disadvantage. Anger, frustration, and impatience are signals that can be read and exploited. Like a predator stalking prey, maintain distance from emotional triggers. Pause, inhale, and consider the move. That secures advantage without exposing vulnerability. Calculated detachment permits decisive strikes at the optimal moment. Weak, I need to respond now. Strong, I observe, I decide, I act at the right moment. Every delayed reaction strengthens perception. Others perceive composure as competence and authority. Master outcomes through quiet reflection. Anticipate challenges before they arise. Decisions informed by foresight prevent conflict from dictating terms. A chess master positions pieces not for immediate gain, but to control the board's evolution. Similarly, plan your actions to shape situations in advance. Quiet preparation ensures your moves appear effortless, your presence commanding. When a colleague challenges a plan impulsively, respond calmly with reasoned adjustments rather than defensive rebuttals. Your restraint demonstrates control, earns respect, and establishes authority without confrontation. The battlefield of influence rewards the patient, the calculating, the disciplined. Internal command translates into external dominance. Repeat your mantra and embody it. I strike with silence. I rule with focus. I am untouchable. Hunger is power unclaimed. Like a wolf stalking its prey, respect is earned not by display but by disciplined, deliberate pursuit. Controlled aggression is your edge. Channel desire for influence into precise, calculated actions that advance your position without exposing vulnerability. Restraint sharpens presence, making every move count. Visibility is tactical. Announcing ambition prematurely invites challenge and diminishes authority. Let desire simmer beneath a calm exterior. Observe opportunities, assess risks, and strike. Only when advantage is absolute. Weak, I must act now to gain respect. Strong, I prepare, I wait, I act with impact. Every measured step reinforces perception of competence and inevitability. Resource accumulation strengthens your silent authority. Build skill, reputation, and alliances without fanfare. Knowledge and mastery are weapons. The quiet strategist outmaneuvers the loudest competitor. Network selectively, mentor wisely, and consolidate influence where it cannot be undermined. A peer underestimates your patience, questioning delayed action, responding with calm composure, allowing their doubts to reveal weaknesses, and continuing strengthening your position without confrontation. Each acquisition of skill or alliance increases unseen leverage. Like a predator hoarding strength, your unseen power sets the stage for decisive action. Others must perceive the latent potential before it is unleashed, heightening respect and anticipation. Patience defines the predator. Hunger is respected only when paired with timing. Rush and your efforts appear impulsive. Wait, and every movement communicates strategic mastery. Quietly prepare, anticipate outcomes, and allow circumstances to align with intent. When your moment arrives, execution appears effortless and authority unassailable. Maintain focus, avoid distraction, and let desire fuel discipline, not impulsivity. Each action communicates control, each pause amplifies influence. The combination of restraint, preparation, and latent aggression ensures that others recognize the threat before it manifests. Command your energy, cultivate silent power, and internalize this truth. I hunger with purpose. I strike with precision. I am unstoppable. Life is a chessboard, and every person you encounter is a piece whose moves reveal intentions. To command respect silently, you must anticipate before actions unfold. Read intentions diligently. Patterns in behavior, repeated choices, and subtle cues disclose likely strategies. Observing without reacting allows you to position yourself advantageously while others act impulsively. Patience is power. The silent strategist sees multiple turns ahead. Each conversation, each decision is a move on the board. Intervene only when alignment favors your influence. Weak, I will respond quickly. Strong, I will respond strategically. Map the board in your mind, calculate outcomes, and preserve energy for decisive moments. Sacrifice and position define mastery. Not every skirmish deserves engagement. Let trivial victories pass to control the larger structure. Preserve resources, maintain composure, and focus on positions that amplify long-term authority. The pawn that advances recklessly gains the board but exposes the king. Evaluate which engagements yield strategic advantage and which dissipate influence. A colleague challenges your directive, insisting on immediate resolution. You concede, the minor point, while guiding the conversation toward your broader objective. This restraint projects confidence, not weakness, demonstrating that power is measured by foresight, not immediate compliance. Endgame mastery cements silent influence. Sequence actions to accumulate authority gradually. Small, calculated maneuvers establish credibility and reputation that compound over time. Anticipate opponents' responses, adapt to evolving dynamics, and strike when alignment is complete. Visibility emerges naturally when outcomes favor your design. Each deliberate move communicates competence, patience, and inevitability. Cultivate mental clarity, track developments rigorously, and avoid reactionary impulses. Authority becomes evident through consistency, timing, and strategic foresight. Internalize this principle, and your presence commands recognition before any words are spoken. Maintain vigilance, act with purpose, and remember, I see the moves, I control the board, I am inevitable. Discipline is your weapon, your shield, and the unseen force that shapes influence. Habit as armor transforms repetition into resilience. Each morning, execute your rituals without deviation. Journaling thought, meditating on observation, reviewing. Goals. All acts forge mental fortitude that cannot be broken by chaos or opposition. Treat consistency as non-negotiable. It signals that your power is methodical, not impulsive. Weak. I try to maintain discipline. Strong. I enforce discipline relentlessly. Build systems that demand attention to detail, where every action aligns with overarching objectives. Let routine become your armor, absorbing uncertainty before it reaches your mind. Refined focus sharpens strategy. Train your attention like a blade honed against resistance. Each decision, each perception benefits from clarity. Observe conversations fully, analyze intentions without distraction, and respond with precise, calculated action. Precision in thought yields precision in execution. Eliminate scattered energy. Scattered attention becomes vulnerability. In meetings, remain composed while others debate impulsively. Notice hidden patterns, unspoken hierarchies, and anticipate movements. Your clarity compels respect because it manifests in quiet, unshakable competence. Protect this focus fiercely. It underpins every silent command you make. Engage selectively, act decisively, and remain immovable. Unwavering resolve communicates authority. Discipline signals that no external pressure can sway you. Boundaries are enforced not through confrontation, but through steadfast consistency. In moments of disagreement, allow minor concessions without compromising core principles. When a colleague challenges your approach, respond calmly, integrating feedback that strengthens your strategy while maintaining your directive. This measured stance demonstrates control, signaling that you cannot be intimidated or diverted. Influence emerges naturally from such poise, and others adjust to your rhythm. Persist through resistance, cultivate inner fortitude, and let every ritual reinforce your sovereignty. Internalize this principle and repeat it daily. I am disciplined. I endure, I am unstoppable. Authority is not claimed. It is recognized before a word is spoken. Presence as power begins with reputation, the silent signal that announces competence and command. Move through spaces with deliberate calm. Every glance, posture, and measured step communicates readiness, competence, and unassailable discipline. Let others witness consistency, and they internalize respect without needing verbal instruction. Weak. I hope they see I am capable. Strong. My presence demands acknowledgement. Actions repeated daily build a reputation that precedes you, shaping interactions before you intervene. Observe attentively, act decisively, and maintain poise under scrutiny. Presence is your first line of influence, unspoken yet palpable. The invisible crown rests upon internal authority, unchallenged because it is unquestioned. You do not seek validation, you maintain standards. Internalize your power through ritual, reflection, and unwavering adherence to principle. Others sense your steadiness and adjust behaviors naturally. Challenges to your authority are rare because consistency communicates inevitability. Refuse to justify decisions impulsively. Let silent competence dominate the room. When a peer questions direction, respond with calm certainty. Integrate insight without conceding core strategy. This measured interaction reinforces that authority exists within, not in transient approval. Command respect through restraint and precision. Protect internal sovereignty as fiercely as external reputation. Eternal influence emerges when mastery is habitual and silent. Consistent observation, disciplined action, and refined presence create lasting impact. Influence becomes instinctive for those around you. They anticipate your expectations without instruction. Mentor quietly, exemplify standards, and maintain rituals that reinforce authority. Small repeated actions accumulate into a legacy of respect and unshakable credibility. Avoid unnecessary confrontation. Let competence alone dictate acknowledgement. Internal and external power converge when you embody your standards consistently. Let every ritual, every decision, and every interaction reinforce your untouchable stance. Anchor this transformation with clarity, focus, and steadfastness. Repeat daily, I am the throne, silent, eternal, untouchable. Power is forged in silence and honed through discipline, not in the clamor of words. Stand as the general who commands the battlefield without firing a single shot, whose presence alone shapes outcomes. Each movement, deliberate and measured, communicates authority more effectively than speech ever could. Observe the environment with predator-like focus, noting patterns, weaknesses, and opportunities. Let your consistency and composure broadcast competence to every observer. Weak. I hope they respect my decision. Strong. My presence dictates acknowledgement. Presence as the ultimate weapon signals that you are unshakable. That influence flows from your being rather than your voice. Master gestures, tone, posture. Each carries the weight of command. Actions ripple, aligning others to your silent strategy. Before a single instruction is given, cultivate an aura of inevitability. Let others anticipate your standards and adjust accordingly. Silent authority consolidates influence, making confrontation unnecessary. Transcend the battlefield by converting potential conflict into alignment. Engage only with observation and strategic positioning. Like a chess grandmaster, predict movements several turns ahead, anticipating challenges without reacting emotionally. A subordinate questions a tactical choice. Respond with calm assessment, integrating insight while preserving your overarching strategy. Demonstrate that authority is internal, grounded in foresight and clarity, not in reaction or coercion. The invisible empire grows where control is exercised quietly, where decisions are deliberate and principles unwavering. Each day, reinforce routines that solidify credibility and trust. Measure words sparingly. Deliver them with precision. Let action carry the weight. Avoid impulsive assertion. Let mastery speak first. Discipline in silence transforms the mind into the throne that governs perception. The throne of the mind consolidates all prior practice into enduring influence. Self-mastery radiates outward, compelling respect automatically. Environment, colleagues, peers, and rivals adjust instinctively to your presence. Decisions carry authority because they are rooted in consistent principle and observation. Boundaries are clear. Negotiation occurs within the parameters you silently establish. Rituals, reflection, and strategic patience fuse into a psychological empire no one can breach. Influence becomes instinctive for those around you. Compliance is voluntary, born from recognition of competence, not fear. Observe rigorously, act with purpose, remain immovable in thought and demeanor. Each controlled action signals internal strength, shaping external reality. Anchor the empire in daily discipline, maintain the throne through relentless refinement of focus, presence, and restraint. Repeat constantly, I am the silent empire, untouchable, eternal, sovereign. Power is measured not by the noise you make, but by the stillness you command. Stand as the general who holds the battlefield with invisible strategy, whose authority radiates without uttering a word. Observe constantly, assess without bias, and act with precision. Every gesture, posture, and expression communicates a message of competence and control. Let your presence alone dictate the terms of engagement. Others will align instinctively to your rhythm. Weak. I hope they understand my position. Strong. My presence defines understanding. Discipline yourself daily in silent observation, noting patterns, weaknesses, and opportunities. Respond only when necessary, ensuring each action reinforces authority. Let restraint be your sword, consistency your shield, and composure your armor. Internalize rituals that reinforce mental sovereignty. Begin each day with deliberate reflection. What will you control? What will you observe? And where will you exercise influence? Treat strategic patience as a battlefield tactic. Advance only when conditions favor dominance. In moments of disagreement, resist impulsive reaction. A colleague challenges your judgment. Listen fully, integrate valid insight silently, and adjust course subtly. By doing so, you preserve authority while demonstrating flexibility. The throne is not taken through argument or volume, but through unwavering presence and mastery of self. The legacy of mastery emerges when silence shapes behavior more than speech. Your reputation precedes your interaction. Influence flows without imposition. Boundaries are clear, principles unshakable, and decisions consistent. Daily enforcement of observation, restraint, and action cements your psychological empire. Others comply because they recognize competence, not fear. Each controlled movement signals power. Each disciplined choice reinforces sovereignty. Let rituals be non-negotiable. Reflection, assessment, silent command. Over time, your authority becomes instinctive to all who encounter it. Anchor this power with a personal mantra, internalized and recited mentally. I endure without words. I command without sound. I am the throne, the storm, untouchable.